Hello Toy Collector fans, Universal Toy Collector here, and welcome to the channel. And welcome to another episode of My Collecting Life, the series where I get to speak to you, members of the toy collecting community, about your own personal collections, finding out what got you into collecting in the first place, and what gives you that toy collecting buzz. Okay, so the question on everybody's lips this week is, who's on this week's episode? Well, sit yourselves down, put your feet up, grab your cuppa, and let's take a look at some of his collection in a musical montage. Okay, and once again, these collections do not disappoint. A little bit of everything, which I think is absolutely fantastic, and it's displayed really, really well. It's my pleasure to welcome Dave from DTM Collectables. Hello, sir. How are you?
Not bad, thanks. You?
Good. I'm very good. Yeah, good not stuff. Too bad. Really appreciate you taking the time to do this.
No,
Thank you so much.
Appreciate the invite.
No. It's a pleasure, an absolute pleasure. The first time I saw you was on ZSR.
Right.
You were talking to Shabby and Matt and Tez.
Yeah.
And that was a while back. And I think as soon as I saw you on there, I was like, I'm going to message him the next day. So
right.
message you and got in there. So yeah. So right, I've got 10 questions for you.
Okay.
Run time's roughly an hour. If we run over, not an issue. All about you. So totally relaxing chat. So first question, what toy lines were you into as a kid, and what were your childhood memories of those toy lines?
Right, God. Well, definitely A-Team. The A-Team figures.
Okay. Yeah.
I grew up with 3 younger brothers. One day,
Yeah.
my dad came back from work and he bought us all the A-team figures, and we played them to death. Took them outside, built bases. They didn't last very long, but just looking back and playing with my brothers with all them A-team figures, that were good. Star Wars, seeing Return of the Jedi at cinema, became immediately obsessed like everybody else did.
Yeah.
And got my first figure, Luke Skywalker, from Boots of all places. I remember going to Boots.
Wow.
Boots
Okay.
when they sold action figures.
Wow.
And my mother picked that up for me, and that was it. Then I was just, as soon as I could buy a toy, I'd buy a toy, or my parents would buy me a toy, my grandparents would buy me a toy. Yeah, I've just always liked toys.
Yeah.
From film and TV sort of lines.
So when you say the A-team, that's really unusual, because I don't think that I recall anybody that I've spoken to in this series mention the A-team. Were they 5-inch figures?
They were probably 5-inch. Yeah.
Yeah, they were quite big, weren't they?
I think they were made by
ones, yeah.
Was it Galoob? Galoob made them.
Okay.
I can't remember, but they came with all accessories, and Mr. T, he came with a big toolbox. Yeah, was
it just the 4 of them, or was there more in that line? I only remember
they brought out one of the female A-team members. I think her name was Amy.
Amy, that's it.
Maybe a villain. I'm not sure.
Okay.
But they did bring out some smaller figures too, but I never had them. We just had the big.
Yeah, they were like were they the O-ring figures? Like the O-ring figures?
Yeah,
I think it was like BA all in green, wasn't he, or something like that?
Yeah, they were wearing weird outfits that you never saw them in the show. But I used to love A-team figures, and hopefully one day I'll be able to find a complete set, all boxed and nice and minty fresh. But I'm not holding out much hope.
No, God, I've not seen those A-team figures for absolute ages.
Even the packaging.
Vital blast from the past. Yeah, I can't even remember the packaging.
Bullet holes in the in the card back. It were quite fun. Yeah.
Oh, awesome! And you said Return of the Jedi was the first film that you saw. Did you? So that was actually the first film you saw,
or
the first one you saw at the pictures? Did you see Star Wars?
I saw at the cinema. The first Star Wars film I saw was Return of the Jedi at the cinema. And then I can't remember how it must have been on TV. I watched the other 2.
Yeah.
That was it, really. I mean, Return of the Jedi was the first Star Wars film. I can't remember the first film I saw. It must have been E.T.
Oh, wow.
I can't remember. I was only 7.
God.
Yeah.
Wowzers. Blimey. So they were the 2 prominent toy lines that you were into then? Or was it G.I. Joe or Transformers, He-Man, anything like that?
I never really got into G.I. Joe. I got into Transformers for a little while. Where that film I'd seen at the cinema when that came out, the Transformers movie. And I got a couple of bits. But growing up, my mother never had much money, so it was like, hand-me-downs from mates and all that. And I'd go around to my mates and play with their Transformers and stuff like that.
I was going to say that Transformers movie, it didn't age. It hasn't aged well, I don't think.
No, it hasn't. Really,
no. Is it? It's. I remember watching that when I was a kid, and the first 5 or 10 minutes, you get all the guys that you've seen in seasons 1 all just get mowed down. Optimus Prime obviously dies.
Heartbreaking.
What are we watching? And then you watch it again later, and you think, okay, yeah, I remember these bits. But then it was like just an 80s top of the pops music fest with all the different music going on in the background. I just thought, I didn't remember that. I couldn't remember that as a kid, but seeing it now, it's like, not a great one.
I mean,
so leading into, sorry.
A few of my mates had the G1 Transformers back when we were younger. That's as much as I had back then of Transformers. Were just playing with my friends. I think I had the little tiny ones you could get, the mini bots. I can't remember what they were called.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You just pulled them apart a couple of times, and then you had a robot.
Yeah, there were the mini bots, weren't they? Like Bumblebee, kept jumping, all that sort. Yeah, mini bots.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So did you? I guess you watched all these like TV series on the TV then as a kid, growing up, like G.I. Joe, Transformers, and all that sort of stuff. You watched those as a kid, but so watching those, you never really got into collecting any of that sort of stuff. Was there a reason for that, or was it just not something that you didn't fancy collecting?
No, but I mean, when you're younger, your taste change from one second to another, doesn't it? 1 minute you're watching one thing, you're doing another, you're playing football, you're your interest goes in several different ways. But I think I always clung on to Star Wars as a main fan-based thing for me. That was the ultimate thing that I went to all the time to watch. We recorded Star Wars on VHS. I played it to death. To the point where you had to wait another year till it came back on TV to re-record it.
But it was always on at Christmas, wasn't it? It was
that's
Christmas
it,
period it was on or something like that over the holidays.
So I became obsessed with Star Wars when I was younger.
Yeah.
And it stuck with me right to now, really,
Yeah, I don't think you're the first person to say that. I think it's had that effect on many a kid. So that leading into the next question, I'm guessing Star Wars was your favourite toy line as a kid.
Yeah. Star Wars definitely was the best toy line. I mean, I did have a couple of bits, mostly figures I had. I got speeder bikes, that kind of the cheaper end toys, really. Like I said,
like the mini rigs and stuff like that.
Money. Yeah, the mini rigs. Destroyed a couple of them in my time. Yeah. Once I got really, really morbid with a Darth Vader figure watching Return of the Jedi again. I thought, I wonder what would happen if I burnt my Darth Vader figure like Luke does.
Oh, God.
So
no.
I set fire to it in my backyard and my mum went nuts. Yeah. You could probably still smell that burning plastic now.
Yeah, God, yeah. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
If I'm honest. Wow, that's blimey. It makes you wonder if Star Wars never come about, what would the toy line industry be like, and what would the movie industry be like? Do you know what I mean? It does make you wonder, because I think it had. Well, something would have come along in the end, but it just has that effect on people, doesn't it? And that just worldwide effect in this. It's still going strong today, isn't it? As well as we found out that Echo Base Live, right? When did you stop playing with your toys and become a collector? Because obviously there's a certain point in life where you get to a certain age and you think, well, push those to the side, and then you go off and do other things and stuff like that. So when did you stop playing with your toys, and then when did you start becoming a collector?
Good question. Suppose I was still in middle school, and you start getting used to like going out with your mates, or you start meeting girls, don't you? And then all that sort of thing happens, and your little hobbies you had sort of take a backdrop. I took up a bit of like fencing, some judo. I did all that and just forgot about buying figures. I got a small job working at Woolworths when I was about 16, and I'd seen all the toys on shelves there. We're back when Turtles and Power Rangers and all that sort of thing were out. And I just got fed up of seeing them every day. I'd just see rows of Turtles, rows of Power Rangers. So that sort of just toys out for me anymore. And then I started working and got my first wage, and I started buying model kits. Batmobiles, DeLoreans, and I got right into doing that sort of thing. And then I started buying the odd figure again. And about 17, 18, I had a little tiny bit of a collection, but still, I mean, 18-year-old, you start drinking, and then you go out with your mates, and then you meet your future girlfriends here and there, and all your stuff gets forgotten about again. And it wasn't until 8 years ago when I met my current girlfriend, Helen, that I had nothing. I had a couple of Funko Pops and maybe a couple of figures. And she knew I went into it, and she said, why don't you just start taking it a bit serious, And so I started watching a few YouTube channels, watched Tim, Boss Bounty a lot. And I started picking up figures, vintage collection. Black Series came around, started buying some of them. And now she regrets even saying that, because the house is full. So I suppose that's when I became a collector, when I met my better half.
So you basically, what you're saying is, on this series, you're blaming your other half for your collection.
Yeah. Well, she'll know I'm blaming her. Yeah.
Brave man. Fair play. It is amazing and astounding how quickly it can kind of spiral, isn't it? You sort of dip your toes into one, I like that, and then you think, oh yeah, I like that, and And I was exactly the same. I mean, all the way through my life, I've had like little bits here and there. I mean, this is my final collection. I mean, I had 2 fairly big collections previous to this, and I got rid of them all. I sold it all, sent it to car boots and stuff like that, or I had a collector come around and give me pittance for it, which you know, at the time I wasn't too fussed. You know, I just wanted to get rid of them and stuff like that. But yeah, I think again, then I started collecting again slowly, and it was only till 2020 where we couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
You know, we all sat and watched YouTube and stuff like that. Again, you know, watching people like Tim and Nick from Anyone Kenobi, Boss Bounty, and the likes, and the Foosh. And yeah, it does hit you hard. It really does. And I mean, I was originally into 3 3/4 inch. And I didn't realize, didn't have a clue that the 6-inch Star Wars figures were even a thing, the Black Series. And now I just, you know, I've got a fair few, so it's not too bad.
They soon grow, don't they? Yeah.
It does, definitely. Do you have any of your toys from childhood, or
only a couple of Star Wars figures? I've got a reuse.
Okay.
I think a Yoda. Yeah, it's a Yoda.
Okay. Yeah,
but he's got a repro snake. It's not the actual.
Okay.
I went down with all that. Just don't tell anyone.
No, well, I won't say anything. I mean, crikey, I've got some Stan Solo stuff.
Yeah, it's a way of making your figure complete, isn't it? Yeah.
But it is. I mean, a lot of people frown upon it, the purists and stuff like that. But listen, it's my collection. I don't care. You know,
that's it.
I mean, if I had the money, obviously, I would like to get the genuine thing. But you know what it's like at the moment. The financial situation we're all in. But
I saw some prices at the Echo for the small guns that Luke Reynolds were looking for. The guns and the lightsabers. £28 for a little tiny gun, and the prices was ridiculous. £50 for a small gun.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just predominantly because it's Star Wars. People think, I'm going to charge this. I mean, I would like to know where they get their prices from. Well, I mean, did I just pluck them out of the air?
I said the same thing yesterday.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Do you have a Grail piece that you are after? Is there anything in particular that you want? Yeah, like that you would have in your collection, and you would like say, well, like, that's a tidy Bob. I've got the money. I'll have that.
Well, I'm into the real Ghostbusters as well, and I'd really like a complete boxed Firehouse.
Oh, okay.
With everything there. I've got the Ecto one. I've got quite a few of the Ghostbusters and some Ghosts. That's my next thing. I'm trying to go for that. I mean, I've seen a few on eBay, but some of them look tattered and torn, and I think I'm asking too much to get it boxed and perfect. But yeah, that's what I'm after. I suppose that's my next Grail.
So when you say box and perfect, it was like it comes in the box, and you would keep it in the box.
I'd keep it in the box.
You keep it in the box, yeah,
and then just display it with the Ghostbusters. Yeah, I do have another version at Firehouse, the Lego one. So
okay, yeah.
You don't want too many Firehouses.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. I mean, I see that a lot of your collection is unboxed. Yeah. Are you also a box collector? Do you have stuff?
I've got a few things in boxes. Yeah, I've got very few Star Wars things in boxes. Some Doctor Who things in boxes. Yeah, not much really, but just lately I mean, some of these sets that they bring out and they package them really well. They look really spot on. Presentation looks really great. I keep them in a box because they're too nice looking to take out. You know, your special editions and all that. So I keep them in boxes.
I mean, that pickup yesterday, I mean, I didn't even get it from Echo Live. I got it from Game, just down the way in the shopping centre. And it was the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Cantina Showdown with the Power of the Force one.
Yeah.
I mean, that box looks absolutely fantastic. And I mean, I've got the figures loose anyway, or single on their own in the boxes. So I take them out of the boxes. So, I mean, yes, you got the bar and that like that, but sometimes I just think, do I want to keep that in the box? Do I open it? Yeah. I'm on the side of keeping it in the box. It does look a nice piece.
It's nice, and I've always liked that packaging as well. It just pops, doesn't it? The Power of the Force.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, didn't appreciate it much at the time.
Yeah.
When they come out those figures. I mean, did you get many of those figures at all?
I got which one did I get? Can't remember without looking. I got one of the sets. But I'll tell you what it was. It was Obi-Wan Kenobi with the hologram of Leia, and it talks.
Okay.
I've got that one. That's still in a box. But not much else.
No. What is your most prized possession? What is your most? If you think, oh shit, I've got to get out of it quick, I'll take this.
It's my Hot Toy Superman that my girlfriend bought me.
Okay.
With Christopher Reeve, Superman the movie. Yeah, that's probably my prized possession.
I didn't even know they did a Hot Toy Superman, Christopher Reeve. No.
It's a nice one to look at. I mean, it's
good, is it?
It's an older one. It's one of the earliest ones, I think, for Hot Toys, but it is good. Yeah. And
I mean, those space sculpts.
Yeah, they've got them spot on, and they're even better now than they were back when I got that one. I mean, that's another avenue I'm just trying to go down, and all Hot Toys.
An expensive one, yeah.
It's an expensive one.
Well, it is, yeah. So, is that the sort of thing that you would? Are you quite happy getting the? I mean, obviously, you wouldn't go mad with it, I guess. But like you just like constantly getting Hot Toys. So it'd be once every while, or
would you
predominantly stick with the? Yeah,
because I mean, you've seen the price of them. That's, I mean,
yeah.
The thing is with Hot Toys, when you've got one, you can see the money there. You can see what you've got.
Yeah, definitely.
Not a lot of toys that you get can do that. You know, your vintage collection, they'll charge the earth for it, and then you'll get it. Where's the money? You know, where's the money in that? But you know, I still like them. I still buy them. So, but yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think I was talking to my girlfriend. I was saying maybe 2 a year, 2 Hot Toys a year. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, they just are piling them out at the moment. I mean, what would your next one be if you did get another one?
Well, it'd be Star Wars based. It'd either be Boba Fett from the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, yeah.
Or a Luke Skywalker.
Okay.
Because they're bringing that Mandalorian Luke Skywalker out, are they, from when he appeared in that.
That's it, yeah.
And and I've seen the doing a Vader from Obi-Wan show. That was pretty good. All the mask is all torn away, and that was pretty cool. Again,
they do look some fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
The thing is, I mean, I quite like Marvel as well, and they do. I've just recently seen they've done an Iron Man one, and you've got like the what's it? Oh, crikey!
Oh,
just look at that.
With all the gantry and what have you. Yeah. That looks good.
Yeah. I mean, one year my wife got for Christmas the Batman armory with Christian Bale and Michael Caine as Alfred and Bruce Wayne, and the armory lights up, but the bits, the accessories that come with it, I mean, painstakingly trying to put it all together. Then the light turns up, and it just, you've got the bat suit in there as well. And I mean,
bet that's cool.
It's absolutely fantastic. And this was a while back as well, but the facial sculpts, even then, were absolutely superb.
You know what they're doing, don't they? That company.
Oh yeah, definitely. And like you say, you're getting the money worth that you're paying for, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely.
And they hold the value as well. That's
do they?
Looking on eBay, I've noticed that they don't. You know, they'll come out at one price and they'll sell at that price.
Yeah. Well, we've not gone mad on them. We've got like Princess Leia's and stuff like that. So we've got 3 Princess Leia's. So we've got the General Leia from Last Jedi. I mean, film weren't great, but the facial sculpt on her is just absolutely fantastic. There we got Leia Hoth, which was the first one I think we got, and then Leia Bespin. I mean, that is a beautiful figure. I mean, I loved that outfit that she wore anyway. I think she was absolutely stunning. But yeah, that's really good. Yeah. So I think if we get any more, it'll be either Leia from A New Hope or the one with the Ewok, Wicket, the 2-pack.
Oh yeah. Is that out yet?
Like you say, it's out. It's out. Yeah. So you can get her on her own, or you can get her in like a 2-pack. So if you're going to spend that much money anyway, you might as well pay that little bit extra and get Wicket as well.
I know, don't want an Ewok. Absolutely. Yeah.
Huh?
Who don't want an Ewok? I mean, they're adorable.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I guess you like the Ewoks then.
I do quite like the Ewoks. Yeah, keep it on low down though. I'll get
Well, I won't tell anybody. No one will know about this. No one will know about that. Secret safe with me. Good but stuff. Just going back to that with Return of the Jedi, originally George Lucas wanted that end battle to be with the Wookiees.
Yeah, I heard that.
But because of like monetary costs and stuff like that, and going well over budget, they didn't have the money to do that. Right. Do you think it would have worked better with the Wookiees back then?
No.
Or do you think the Ewoks are well? It is what it is, isn't it?
Really? It is what it is. I think
that, but yeah,
it'd have been interesting to see, but I think we saw a bit of the Wookiees in one of the prequels, didn't we? They were the battle scene. So at least they got some of it. Yeah. No, I think stick with the Ewoks. It worked. I think not a lot of people liked it, but I think it's adorable.
No, I mean it worked. I liked it. We didn't know any different, did we?
No.
But now knowing what we know now, with the fact that that's what he originally wanted to do, and then you had that scene in Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah,
it was all CGI, and it looked all CGI as well. Do you know what I mean? I think at least you'd have had some kind of realism.
Yeah,
with the Wookiees back in, if it would have been Return of the Jedi, if they'd have been.
Yeah, maybe.
You don't know, dear, but never mind. So currently, what toy lines do you currently collect? Because I've noticed your collection. You've got a bit of everything there.
I do.
How did that start about? Because you going from having the A-Team as a kid and Star Wars, and then now you've got just a bit of everything. What was how did that come about? And don't say it was your girlfriend.
No, this was me. I'd be out and I'd see some. I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind this. And then the next thing you know, you've got Batman collection, Superman collection, Ghostbusters. I've got little bits of everything. Doctor Who, Lego. It's crazy how it's grown. And it's all a bit scattered. You know, some of it don't even make sense. I've got some horror movie figures, NECA horror movie figures, Freddy Krueger, that kind of thing. Gremlins, there's an ET knocking about somewhere in here.
Yeah,
if I like it and I can afford it, and I'm still going to be able to pay eating bill end of the month, I'll get it. But I don't know. It's just I like nostalgic stuff as well. So I think that a lot of that's got that sort of attachment to it. And I used to watch a lot of horror movies as a kid, so you go out and buy a horror movie figure, and it just reminds you of that time when you watch that movie. Does it sound silly that?
No, God, no, not at all, not at all. Like I said, I mean, I was in my own little bubble, and I started off with my vintage Star Wars figures, the Kenner ones, and I've still got like a few of those left to get, but no rush. I've got majority of the vehicles.
Yeah.
But like I said, it wasn't until 2020 that I saw all these other fantastic toy lines. You know, I'd never heard of NECA. I'd never heard of SH Figure Arts. DC Multiverse, you know, McFarlane, the Batman stuff, I think is, well, not just the Batman stuff. I think all of his figures are really, really good.
Yeah.
So it opens your eyes, and I'm like you, I see it, I like it, and I'm going to go, I'll have some of that. But it is an easy trap to fall into, isn't it? And then all of a sudden you've just got absolutely everything.
But then you don't have anywhere to put anything, do you? It just
that's it. You know, I'm practically out of space now. But I've noticed in your collection you have got a lot of NECA figures. Now there's a lot of, I don't say bad feeling towards NECA because of the quality, but there's a lot of chat going on, you know, with NECA figures and stuff like that, with the ET figures snapping and stuff like that. I mean, have you had any problem?
Yeah, the ET that I got a couple of weeks ago, it came. I was bending its arm straight out of box, and it just came off. So bit of glue, wiped my tears away, and I went all right.
Yeah, but you should. That's the thing. I mean, listen, they're not cheap.
They're not.
You know,
cheap.
They're not overly expensive, but they're not cheap. I mean, you know, like I say, the current climate we're living in financially and stuff like that. When you pay that kind of money for something, you want it to be of a certain quality.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be snapping it and breaking it as soon as it's coming out the package.
Yeah,
that
is a problem, isn't it?
That is a worry. Problem.
And they do such good stuff as well. And it's just a shame that one of these issues that they can't iron out keeps on happening.
Is
I've
it
seen
just
it
with
on,
your ET figures? Is it just your ET figure, or
an ET went and one of the Doc Browns, the wrist peg just snapped off when I was chipped. Well, that was me being rough. You know, I pulled it out and the wrist peg still stuck in the wrist bit.
My life.
Yeah. But
I mean, Touchwood.
I mean, they say that to use an air dryer before you start pulling them apart and what have you. But
Yeah,
I've not done that yet. I'm just too eager to get out of the box and get it on display, and then I suppose that's how a lot of the issues happen, don't they? But there is a problem, isn't there? Let's face it.
Yeah, definitely, and I think NECA, I think they must realise that, and I think they if they do know it, then they've really got to address that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got 4 of the NECA figures ourselves. We've got the Back to the Future ones.
Yeah.
And luckily, Touchwood, we've not had any issues with them at the moment. I mean, we got Michael J. Fox on the hoverboard.
Yeah.
What an arse that is to try and get him balanced on there and stay on there. I mean, we had it. We hit the sweet spot, and it's like fantastic. And then a lawyer drive past, and the place will shake.
Yeah, I get the same problem here.
And it falls off, and you can't get it back up again. And you're like, it's so we've just kept him off that at the moment. But my dad's got a few as well. I bought him a few. He's got the American Werewolf in London. He's got John Carpenter's The Thing. What's his name? McGreedy, and he's got the Alien. The Alien, the from Resurrection, the really ugly looking thing.
Oh,
he's got that
horrible pale thing. Yeah.
I mean, he loves that sort of stuff. But luckily, Touchwood, we've not had any issues. But I don't know if you know of is it Dino from Geek Strong?
Yeah, no, Geek Strong. Yeah,
he was opening his, and he had the bike in the hand, and it just snapped in his hand. He was just holding it.
That ET thing. Yeah. Yeah.
It is a worry. It is a worry, and like I say, you pay that kind of money.
Yeah, I mean, I'll still buy them. There's still a few coming out that I really want to get hold of, so I'll still buy them. I'm not going to, just because of the issues, I'll not stop buying them. They'll get better. Yeah. I'm sure they'll iron a problem out at one point. But those Gremlins, I've got loads of the Gremlins sets. I've got loads of them. Not had one problem with them. So.
Because he's got quite thin arms, isn't he, ET? So is
ET, the one eyeball has, yeah.
Maybe that's the issue then. I mean, the joints are so thin and stuff like that, and it's but it is a shame. It's a shame. So currently, you're collecting a fair few toy lines, yeah. Going forward, if your other half come in and you said, right, you can only have one toy line. You can only collect one toy line. What would it be and why?
It'd have to be Star Wars. It'd have to be. Yeah. Because if I get rid of that and I lose all my connection to it, all the good times I had in past, they were all connected to Star Wars toys. It'd all be gone. So it'd have to stay. All the Star Wars stuff would stay. Yeah.
But then going forward, you would say you'd only collect Star Wars stuff then if that's the only one you could collect?
If that's the only one I could collect, it'd be Star Wars, Vintage Collection and Black Series.
Yeah.
Maybe Hot Toys. We'll see how that works out.
Okay. So what are you making so far then of the Vintage Collection TVC?
I like it. I think it's got better this last couple of years.
Definitely.
The sculpts are getting better. The posability of them getting more fluid, and they're more like the Black Series, just shrunken down. I think they're doing good with Vintage Collection. Sometimes I'd wish they'd bring out characters that they probably never will, but I don't have any say in that. I'll just buy what they put out. But there is a few that I'd like them to bring back.
Yeah, I was going to say the card stock's got thicker as well, isn't it? So that's a lot.
A
lot better, because I know the earlier days with 2.0, it was so flimsy and stuff like that. It would bend and warp really easily, but it wasn't good. Listen, I really do like the Vintage Collection. I love it, but I think it's a shame they stopped when they did, and then went down the route of other different like card backs and stuff like that. For me personally, you cannot beat a vintage style card back. I think the look,
I agree with that,
is absolutely fantastic. I'm glad they've decided to stick with the bubble on the vintage
Yeah.
card, because I think if that would have gone, and it would have gone the way of like you see now with the Dungeons and Dragons packaging, I think would have ruined, I think, the vintage collection. It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, I'm an out of box collector, but I'm not a big fan of the cardboard. Can't see what you bought, sort of thing.
No, exactly. Well, they've had issues already, haven't they?
Yeah, there's been a few, especially with Dungeons and Dragons, like you said. Yeah,
crazy, absolutely crazy. But and again, I think I wish they would have gone the route of doing all the original films first, and then bringing out the Phantom Menace figures, and because, like you say, there's so many figures they could have brought out. There's so many figures they've not even done.
One day I'll get a list and send it to Hasbro and see if they can do all with it. But they probably just bring out another clone. So
well, easy repaint, isn't it?
Yeah,
they've got the mold,
and they're not bad, are they?
They're not bad,
collecting the clone.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's just going to end up now where every figure you're going to have is just going to be a clone, whether it's going to be like a someone from the Mandalorian, or whether it's going to be a clone trooper, but just a different battalion. Do you know what I mean? I want to see like more variety. I mean, I know Tim likes his aliens and stuff like that, and it would be nice to have some more alien figures. I mean, you've got Hammerhead that we need to come out and stuff like that.
Definitely
Greedo again, and I would, and then obviously Bosk and the other like bounty hunters. Was there Fallen Mazuckers? Were they being out on the vintage collection? I mean, listen,
they could have been in past. I'm not sure.
Yeah. But no, well, there you are.
Yeah.
Right. What made you decide to do a YouTube channel, and did you have any influences?
It was lockdown. I started watching more and more toy videos on YouTube. And I don't know if you're familiar with the Blue Harvest Toys. Darth Mark. Well, I stumbled across him and found out he was quite local to me. Watched him more and more. Then he started getting his streaming together. Got the guys on that we all know. Did a few streams, and I think they did one daily, for a few weeks.
Wow.
And I just started watching it. Got more familiar with it. I thought, I wonder if I could do a YouTube channel. So I watched a few more people showing the toys off. I watched a lot of toy room tours, and it just went from there really. And I thought, can't be that hard just to get a bit of a camera and waffle on a bit about toys. So I tried it out. I'm not keen on how I do it, but I like to not take it as serious as some YouTubers.
What do you mean by you're not keen with how you do it? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I don't really review anything. If I get a figure, I'll just not make fun of it, but like make it less serious than it needs to be. I've done a couple of room tours. They're fun to do, but I mean, I'm looking at doing more now because I've got a little bit more time now. So hopefully I can start doing a couple a month, maybe, touch wood. But we'll see how it goes.
Is it harder than what you thought it would be?
It is hard, It's got easier. But it is hard. I mean, I did a Doctor Who one other day, and I was just there thinking, what do I do? I want to show people this figure, but I don't want to take forever, and I want to make it a little bit funny. So I thought about it before I started shooting and it just went together, and I thought, right, I like that. That's how I want them to be. A bit of comedy in there, a bit of a look at some toys, different variants of the same figure, and it went all right. I enjoyed doing that one. But sometimes I feel like I'm doing them just for the sake of it, and it takes all fun out of it. I just want them to be fun.
Yeah, well, that's what it's about, isn't it? You're doing it. But I mean, do you find it easy to come up with content, or do you constantly think, what can I do next? What can I do next?
It's not easy when you've got a lot of different stuff. Like you said, I've got loads of different toy lines, and which one do I show off? Do I show multiple toy lines? But I mean, I'm going to try a few more. I've got a few more ideas, and we'll see how they go. I'm not in it for the views or the, the likes, whatever you want to call it. I just like sharing stuff with community, and that's a good way of doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. It's like, so how long have you been doing your channel? Since 2020?
Yeah, I think that was my first video. Yeah.
Wow. Goes quick, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was just a tester at first, and then I did a few more. I mean, the one I did the other week, that was the first one I've done in 3 months. So I dip in and out of it.
Yeah.
More of a time issue and having the patience.
Yeah. And there's that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, because you work full time, I guess, so that plays a big part in it. And then obviously other bits and bobs in life. Do you ever look back at some of your older videos and think, my goodness me, your first videos?
Then, yeah.
It's oh my god. Yeah. No, I did that the other day. I looked at the first video that I did, and that was the only video that I ever read off. That I read a script from, and I sounded so wooden. It was unbelievable. I'm like, God, do I sound like that?
Right.
And then I watched my first ever episode I did of this series with a guy called Chris Meewar from Chasing 80s Toys.
Oh, yeah.
And at the time, I thought, yeah, it was okay. But now looking back, I can definitely see that I feel more relaxed in front of the camera. I feel more relaxed asking the questions. I feel more relaxed having the conversations, and I guess that has come over a certain amount of time of doing it. But looking back, I just think, my goodness me, I don't like the sound of my own voice anyway. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I hear it. Is that what I sound like? It's like
it's awful, isn't it, listening to your own voice?
Yeah,
awful.
Yeah. But the thing that got me was the editing and doing all that, the time consuming is, and then you download it onto the internet and you're thinking, gee, bloody hell, it's taking about 5 minutes. What's going on? And then you can see it's only like 10%. You've got, oh, Jesus Christ. So you go off and do something, you come back an hour later and it's still down. Like, you think, my God. Yeah. But I mean, like, you enjoy doing what you're doing. Would you change anything or?
A little bit. I mean, I don't appear on camera. I'm always doing it through a voiceover. Because I have issues with my appearance and all that, and I just I get nervous and all that kind of thing. But I find it easier doing a voiceover and then shooting the footage.
Well, knowing that now, I really, really appreciate you doing this. I really do. I didn't realise it was you were.
It takes a lot. I do have a lot of anxiety about stupid things. One day I'll get over it, but I mean, it helps.
We're all different. Do you know what I mean? It's it's not everybody's cup of tea. I get that. So
I've done a few of these sort of things now, and it's getting easier. I've got to say. Well, I've done USR a couple of times, and I've done did a Batman stream with Simon and all that. A few before Christmas. That was fun. So I'm just sort of building myself up, and it's more about, again, interacting with other fans of toys and the stuff that you're into.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Like I say, it's all about the enjoyment, and I think as soon as you stop enjoying it and it becomes a chore, or you've not feeling that you've got the content to put out there, then I don't know. You take a step back? Do you rethink about what you want to do? Do you consider, do I want to carry on doing the channel? Or what can I do? Because it's always about trying to keep it fresh, isn't it? I mean, there's a lot of people doing the same things out there, isn't there? But we're all different in our way of doing things. It's all revolves around this obsession of ours or passion of ours of toy collecting. It's like I'm like you. I could never do a toy review. I will give it an overview, but I won't do the ball joints and all that sort of stuff. And because there are people out there that are far better at doing it than me.
Oh, there's some belters out there,
Absolutely. I mean, I if it wasn't for this weekly series, which it wasn't meant to be a weekly series, but that's how it's turned out, so I'm happy with that. I'll be just doing box openings and room tours and stuff like that. So then I don't think I'll be putting too much content out. But it's all right. I don't mind it. It's good fun. It gets to keeps you out of trouble. You get to meet certain people,
when you
different
stop
people.
enjoying it. Yeah, stop enjoying it, and then what's the point of carrying on? But
Yeah,
I mean, you're doing well, and everyone was saying at weekend, how fun it is to do your collecting life series and all that.
Well, that, like I say, that's what I want. I just want it to be fun. I just want it a relaxed chat. I mean, I don't mind going on these live streams and stuff like that where you got about 5 or 6 people. But for this, I think it's like, I don't want to say intimate because that sounds a bit, it's not like that. But it is more personal because everybody's got their own story to tell and stuff like that. And I know it's roughly the same questions that I ask people, but everybody answers them differently. So which is a good thing. I like to think that I'm a fairly good-looking chap, so that gets me through. But no, not at all, not at all. Right, we're coming up to the hour, so I mean, we've got a couple of questions left, so that's fine. What gives you that toy collecting buzz?
Oof. Just having something that you can like turn back into a kid again. You get a new Star Wars figure and you take it all out. It just gives you that excitement of being young again, doesn't it? Well, it does for me anyway. It's all. I think nostalgia plays a lot on toy collecting as an adult. And
absolutely,
that's how I feel anyway.
Do you think toy companies know that and play on that?
Of course they do. Definitely. Oh yeah. You only have to look what they're bringing out. They're not aiming these Black Series Deluxe things out to kids, are they? They're all aimed at us people, us idiots that go out and buy them. Yeah, they know. They know
exactly what they're doing, but then they turn around and say, "Well, they're just toys. They are for kids."
Yeah.
You can see through the BS, can't you? The old corporate bullshit.
Definitely.
But there you are. But so just going back to a few questions ago, you were saying about it would have to be Star Wars because if you lost your Star Wars stuff, you would lose that connection with the Star Wars. Would you say now, with all the figures that you've got and all the other bits and bobs that you've got, if you lost those, do you feel that you would lose a connection with that, or are you not that connected with those? With those?
I mean, I wouldn't want them to go, but I mean, if someone came and took everything apart from the Star Wars tomorrow, I'd get over it. Yeah, I think. I just I don't know. It's an hard one, that. Yeah,
because you've got some fantastic bits and bobs there, and I think I would like shed a tear if a couple of those, if I had a couple of those, and someone said, "I love that."
I have. It's an hard question. I mean, you don't know until if it unfortunately does happen, then oh dear, all my stuff's gone, but at least I've got my Star Wars.
I don't know. My vintage collection. Now I've said it loads of times before. I've got none of my toys as a kid in my collection, and that is one big major regret that I have, that I've not got one single toy from my childhood. So when I turn and look at that, I think fantastic. Yeah, it reminds me of my childhood.
Exactly.
They weren't mine. They weren't mine. But I still have that connection with them because I had a lot of vehicles that I've got now that I never had as a kid.
Yeah.
But but then I've got it now, so I'm happy with that. But I'll just turn that side. When I look at all this stuff now, I do feel like I have a connection with it because I've got my vintage Star Wars stuff there. The Mandalorian stuff there. I've got like G.I. Joe classifieds. Master of the Universe. Obviously, we never had any of that stuff. Well, I never had any of that stuff as a kid.
Right.
And I feel now if I lose that, or not lose it, but if I get rid of it, I kind of will regret getting rid of it or selling it or moving it on. So I think I would feel quite attached to that. There is one exception though. I had a load of Z Force. Do you remember the Z Force Action Force stuff? I had a load of that, and I just didn't have the room for it. And I thought, well, I've got to look at all the stuff I've got. And at the time, it was just predominantly Star Wars. I thought, well, I don't want to lose any of the Star Wars stuff, so I moved that on, and I've given it to Scuba Pete.
All right.
And now I look back and think, well, I've made room, but at the time I didn't have the room, so I just didn't want it put in a box somewhere. So it's in a good home. So I'm glad he's getting enjoyment out of it. But that comes back to, I guess, when you say about connection. Now, I liked G.I. Joe as a kid, but I never had that much Action Force as a kid because my friend had it all. And so I had the Sky Striker and the main battle tank and stuff like that as a kid. And that was it. So out of all of it, that was the stuff that I could move on and not feel too connected to. But, you know, the question is now, will I get that stuff back? Do I collect it again? Probably,
well, that's
probably
a good
not.
point, because I mean, I'm struggling. The new Master of the Universe Origins are fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, keep bringing them out. I loved He-Man when I was a kid. I had a few toys. Used to play around with mates with them. They had the Castle Grayskull. They had everything. I loved it. I watched the cartoon. I don't have one He-Man figure, and I don't know why I haven't got that in my head to go out and buy him. I don't know. Out of everything I have, I've not started collecting them, and I just can't understand why. The weird one, isn't it?
It's the same, because I mean, you know, I was never into Turtles as a kid. I was never into Thundercat. Well, I watched the cartoons, obviously, the animated series, but as figures, I'd never collect the Turtles. I'd never collected Thundercats, and it's really weird. And I can look at my collection, and I don't feel anything's missing. Do you know what I mean? I don't think Thundercats would add to the collection, and I don't think Turtles would add to my collection. I mean, we've seen some fantastic animated Nickelodeon style NECA.
Yeah, they're brilliant, aren't they? What they can do now.
Which my wife is got a beady little eyes on. So I'm not going to say we will never get them. There's every possibility that we could get them, but it's not something that we would jump out and get. If we had the room, I guess we would. Currently, we don't. I mean, the stuff that I have now. I mean, I'm guessing that's an issue for you, space.
Yeah, space. Yeah, I mean, I'm quite lucky because I've got a loft apartment and it's got a mezzanine floor. So I've got all that as my collection space. But you know, things are creeping downstairs now, and I keep getting on dirty look off her indoors. So, but
if she gives you the dirty look, you just look at her and say, "It's all because of you."
That's it.
You know,
she knows that.
Don't give me the look. yeah, fantastic. True. I mean, I was kind of worried when I met my wife. I had like a few little bits and bobs, and it was something that it was like an inward thing that I didn't want to sort of like tell anybody that I collected. I mean, it wasn't a big collection; it was just a few vintage figures and stuff like that. And then obviously it sort of grown to what it is now. Yeah. But luckily, my wife has been very supportive. I mean, I can kind of turn around and blame Georgie for this, because she will say to me, if you see something and you like it, buy it, because you never know when you're going to see it again.
True.
But the problem with me is I like everything. So then it's just like that. But just what do you think of the pre-orders situation? Are you a big pre-order fan, or do you prefer
I have
going
pre-ordered quite a bit in the past. I've slowed down. I've not stopped. I've still pre-ordered a lot. But what I have noticed by going to these shows now, the thing you've pre-ordered, you can get at this show. So just recently, I'd seen something that I'd already pre-ordered, cancelled my pre-order, took this figure straight home and there and then. So I don't think it works all the time, to be honest, pre-ordering. Because you see the other channels, they're unboxing the figure. Yours is still on pre-order. Why ain't it arrived? You know, it's all that kind of thing. I still do it, but I've slowed down. I don't do it as much. A lot of the Star Wars stuff I'll still pre-order. But anything else, I'm not too worried about. Well, the DC stuff you can find anywhere. All your Marvel Legends, they're HMV at the moment. It's like going into a toy shop back in the day. It's just aisles are full of figures.
HMV game got quite a good selection in there now.
Game's done all right, haven't they? The last couple of weeks, everyone posting that they've found this, that, and next thing there.
But what I don't get is you got specific toy shops like Smith's and the Entertainer, and they've stopped doing Star Wars figures.
Now,
I don't see them anymore. They used to have loads of Motu figures, Origins and Revelations. You can't see them in there for, it's like, you're a toy shop. What the hell was going on? You've got Game. It's a concession in our House of Fraser now. So the actual store closed down. It's a concession. And they've got more Star Wars than a proper toy shop. And it's the same with HMV. I mean, they're going to get restocked at some point in the one where we are. But what bugged me with the pre-orders was that they would say it would be at a certain date, and then they would bring it forward like 2 or 3 monks. So it really screws your budget up, and then everything will come in at once, and you just like,
Hasbro Pulse bad at that.
Yeah.
I'll get an email, or you've got so and so coming out this week, so you've got to frantically do some overtime or beg to the missus.
Yeah, crazy. Right, last question.
Yep.
What does your collection mean to you?
I mean, I enjoy it. I love coming up here in my own little world, surrounded by everything that not everything I had as a kid, but things I had as a kid. Yeah. Just takes you back to being a less stressful time in your life. Yeah. I think, I do enjoy it. I don't think I'll ever tire of toy collecting because it means that much to me from growing up. But it means if I had to jump in front of a bus to save someone from getting run over, then this stuff's not important, is it?
No, you've got to put things in perspective. I mean, do you know what I mean?
There's never any buses wrong with that anyway.
Well, they're not. Well, you just say she's jumping in front of one, then, doesn't it? But I think everybody's in the same boat, Dave, when it comes to their collections. It's escapism. It's nostalgia. It's a trip back down memory lane as to when you're a kid. Simpler times, less stressful times. Although at the time, being a kid could have been pretty stressful. Boy, did we not know what the future was gonna hold for us, but in certain respects. But I think we're all pretty much in the same boat. I come in here, I've had a crap day at work, I've had a crap week at work. I can sit in here and just look, and it brings a smile to my face, and I just think, this is fantastic. And
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. That's what it is, isn't it? Yeah. It's a weird hobby. I mean, all my mates, aside from toy collecting friends, they think it's weird. Why don't you go out and watch football? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? Yeah, but look at what I've got. I enjoy this. Everyone's got a different interest, and this is our little thing that we do. So
definitely. I mean, crikey, listen, I spend money on figures. Yeah, I'm not a big drinker, so I don't go down the pub drinking every week. Yeah, I save money there. I don't smoke, so I'm saving money there.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody needs a release of some kind. This is just a bit of harmless, nostalgic fun, and it's for me, it's getting to meet people like yourself. Yeah, met you for the first time face to face.
That's the best part of it,
isn't it? People. Yeah.
Finding people that have got the same thing in common.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It took a while for a lot of people, hasn't it, to come out of the toy collecting shell and go out there and meet people that enjoy it like they do.
I mean, I kept it to myself, and I was not embarrassed, but I'd kind of think, oh God, we've got the gas man coming around, or we've got someone to come and fix the kitchen and the cooker, and he'd walk in, and I'd be like, oh God, and I'd say, it's all hers, it's all hers, it's all hers. And he'd say, this is absolutely fantastic. It's great. I said, well,
you'd be surprised,
really, but
how people will come in and love it straight away.
Yeah. It's, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I mean, no. I think since meeting you guys and doing the channel, I think I've become, more confident, because how can you be a confident collector? You just collect anyway. But I mean, I think I've become more confident with the fact that, yes, I am a collector. This is who I am. If you don't like it, jog on.
That's it. Yeah.
Don't.
No one else's business.
Of course it ain't. I mean, and I'm happy to share things now and stuff like that. Yeah. And because but Dave, I've got to say, this has been absolutely fantastic speaking to you.
No, cheers. Like I said,
it's great speaking to you face to face. I love doing that. But this, I love this series. simply because you just hear so many different stories, people's opinions of collecting and stuff like that. And bottom line is, I'm just a nosy git, and
I don't know. None of that were intrusive at all, so we're fine.
No, that's what I mean. That's it's it's just harmless questions about your collection. You know, why do you get involved in collecting them? But but where can people find you on social media? Because what I'll do is at the end of this, I'll put all your links, social media links, in the description below.
Right. Well, I'm on YouTube, DTM Collectables. Same on Twitter and same on Instagram. Don't do a right lot on Facebook, but that's the main three I use: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, DTM Collectables.
Awesome. Okay, so what I'll do, like I say, is once this is done, in the description below, I'll put all your social media platforms in the description. Right, again, thank you so much for doing this. I really do appreciate you taking the time. It's been absolutely fantastic chatting to you.
Well, as long as it's been fun for you. Yeah.
Oh, listen, listen, I keep saying to everybody, an hour doesn't seem long enough.
That's but then again, it's flown.
It does go really quickly, because you start. I ask you a question, you answer that, and then that gets sort of like sidetracked into something else, and we go off down a different route.
That's it. It rolled well. From first question to where we're
and that's really good. I really like that, and it's been the same with everybody. So, if it weren't for people like yourselves, I wouldn't have a series. So I do really appreciate that.
No worries.
Anyhow, that has come to the end of the chat. Once again, this has been Dave from DTM Collectables. An absolute pleasure talking to you, sir.
Nice one.
Just want to say thank you to everybody for watching. Really appreciate your support as always. And we shall see you guys and girls in the next video. Take care, stay safe, and bye for now. Thank you.